Yo, it's your boy Brandon.
It's your boy Brad.
And welcome to the School Days Podcast. As usual, follow us on our social media platforms. Instagram is School Days Podcast and Twitter is the School Days.
Yes, sir.
Happy belated, Brad.
Appreciate it.
How's your birthday / Valentine's Day and everything?
Man, I'm still hanging on the hangover.
Yes.
I mean, we was too turned up.
They was calling us young, but we're actually washed, yo. We can't drink the same way we used to when we was in college, man.
I remember back in college, we used to drink. Less than 24 hours later, drinking again.
No, we used to hoop the next morning and then drink again.
Son, now I need like 2 to 4 business days to recover now.
It's crazy, yo. I threw up twice this morning.
Oh, you pussy.
Told you. I told you. Listen, we went to McDonald's after the turn up. When I threw up the whole pickle. I didn't even chew. I wasn't chewing. If I didn't chew the pickle, I was wilding. Like, what else did I do?
Hey, yo, by the way.
Well, yeah, pause. Yeah, I got to pause that way. Today we have a very special guest with us.
Yes, sir.
With a dirty ass jacket on right
now. Yes, very, very dirty. Power 105.1 DJ. You might have seen him on Wendy Williams' show recently.
Okay.
Among other accolades, we have DJ Sus One with us in the building.
We're in New York, so What's good, y'all?
How's everything with you, man?
I'm chilling, man. I'm happy to be on the podcast. I always see y'all film. You know, I see them filming this because I work in the studios that they're filming it from, and I'm glad that you guys actually chose me as the 55th guest.
Honestly, we just started having guests not too long ago. It's really our second above having guests.
Yeah,
so, you know, you're definitely on the, you were at the top of our minds. That's what it means.
Well, good, y'all. Now I'm happy to be here.
I mean, you got another team light skin player.
Oh, here we go.
You know what I mean? So we're going to gang up on Brandon this episode.
First of all, pause.
we got to watch this. We're in New York now, Brad. We got to watch what you say.
I like what you guys are doing. You guys are like the Kid and Play of podcasts, the Salt and Pepper male version of podcast.
Can you elaborate on that? I don't know.
You look like Play. You look like Kid. He's growing the hair.
He does look like He does look like Play.
All right, if y'all say so. But no, I'll take that as a compliment, I guess.
You guys are doing your thing.
Appreciate it.
No, I definitely appreciate that. So let's jump right into this, man. How did you get your start in DJ?
Wow. Yeah. All right. This is actually dope because I don't get asked these questions a lot.
Mm.
So, how did I get my start in DJing? In the industry or just DJing, like learning in the DJ?
Yeah, well, where did the passion come from? When
The
you start
passion
practicing?
came from, I used to listen to Ron G mixtapes in the 90s. I used to watch Kid Capri at the end of Def Comedy Jam. I used to hear my brother who works here, DJ Clue, put out mixtapes. I used to hear Funk Flex on the radio. I used to listen to Red Alert on Kiss FM back in the day when it was hip-hop. And I always loved music. And it was the coolest thing back then because it was, it was 2 turntables and a mic. It was vinyl. It really was amazing to me how they would, just kill it in battle and DJ. The movie Juice also inspired me to DJ.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Even though now that I'm older, I realize they were fake DJing in that, but that really inspired me. So I convinced my pops to get some bootleg Radio Shack. You know, if you guys don't remember what Radio Shack is, that was a store.
Come on, man.
I used to work at Radio Shack. Yeah.
Okay. Like Radio Shack belt drive turntables or whatever we could get at the time, and I just started practicing, and I started trying to mimic like the people that I looked up to and mimic people that I just thought sounded great. Like Kid Capri at the end of Def Comedy Jam, every time he would be scratching, I tried to mimic that. You know what I'm saying? I tried to mimic what Ron G used to do on his mixtapes, and I was completely trash and whack at first.
Yeah, right.
I got better.
And so how did that lead to you starting to get gigs and, getting jobs and actually making money from it?
That's such a long story. First of all, before I started making any type of money, there was a lot of fucking DJing for free and broke nights, DJing the hoodest parties where the promoters did not give me the damn fucking money and you can't find them at the end of the night.
Yeah.
I got in the game interning. So my guy, CL, shout out to CL, he has a company called DigiWax that's popular in the industry, and he also works at Columbia Records. We went to high school together, and he was a year older than me. So he got in the game and he worked for so many different labels, but when I started interning for him, he was working at Sony Music. And my good friend, who I didn't know at the time, Mariah Carey, had a label called Crave Records back then.
Okay.
So I used to intern for him over at Crave Records just to get into the game. And then from there, I interned at Epic Records. I interned at Columbia Records. I interned at Cornerstone Promotion, which I was, you know the Fader magazine?
Yeah, Fader. Yeah.
So I was there for the first Fader magazine. It was a DJ magazine. That's why it was called the Fader, and now it became something else. So I was there for that.
Actually didn't know
and
that.
that's how I got in the game, and I started just building relationships. You know, just being around all the industry events and all the label events and stuff. And then eventually somebody gave me a couple of gigs where I had to DJ pretty much for free, but they were great looks.
Yeah.
Because they were industry artists, album release parties and stuff like that. And then I slowly got into the club game. But I also started in the mixtape game as well. I used to do mixtapes.
Okay.
This is when New York was lit and mixtapes was lit.
Probably Clue.
Yeah,
Clue
first of all,
mixtape,
Clue's the king of the mixtapes. But when I was doing the mixtapes, you know, Canal Street right here was every store was selling mixtapes. You know, 125th, downtown Brooklyn, just all over the country, all over the world. Mixtapes was like the biggest thing. It was like you could go platinum in the streets. What Clue was doing outside of the CDs and the actual real stores. These were like more mom and pop stores. So I was doing the mixtapes because a lot of my heroes did mixtapes. I was interning, and I got into the clubs a little bit, and I finally got the attention DJing this club called 9.5. I think it was called 9.5, of this DJ named Playtime, who was on radio in Connecticut. This is how I got into radio.
Yeah.
I'm fast forwarding. I was DJing all the clubs in New York City at this point. Power 1041 in Connecticut, one of our sister stations there.
Yeah.
They had fired a bunch of DJs, and this DJ named Playtime who worked up there, he said, yo, they looking for DJs. Why don't you come DJ for me in the club up there? The program director's gonna be there. You know, maybe you get a job on the fucking station. So I went and filled in for him at the club, shot the DJ Playtime in Hartford, Connecticut. And the program director liked me, and they ended up trying me on the air 2 times, and they liked me, and that was my start in radio. They gave me 1 day a week, and then after a few months, I was doing 6 days a week. And I used to live in Hastings-on-Hudson / Yonkers, and I used to drive to Hartford and back every day, doing 2.5-hour drive there and 2.5 hours back every day. Broke in a fucking hoopty-ass Neon that used to break down all the time just to be on radio, and eventually got attention in New York.
All right. I want to talk about some of your relationships. We'll get to that. I want to go there, but
Personal or business?
I mean, well, the relationships that got you to where you are. But first, can you like kind of attest to, you know, doing the work for free and interning and like that journey and like how important that is to, you know,
it's very
especially
important.
Entertainment.
This generation, no disrespect, because I'm part of this generation, but this younger generation is very spoiled. We didn't have all these easy tools like social media and you know, just all the things that come with like YouTube and Instagram and Twitter and Facebook and being able to connect to the world directly from your bedroom if you want to. You had to go out there and get it. You know what I'm saying? So I had to go out there and beg promoters to please let me open up for the opener. Like, you know what I'm saying? For free. Like, they was looking like, why? Who are you? Why would I hire you? I don't even know who you are. Like, what you got? Please let me. I would show up my CDs, my party CDs, my mixtapes, you know, blah, 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 and beg them to let me open up for the opener.
Yeah.
I have no, you know, I have no pride problems. I'm about just, you know, seeing the goal and going after the goal. So I used to do that. When I used to intern at Sony, because I lived far in the burbs, I used to be in the label all day, you know, trying to build relationships, be a slave basically, and had no problem with it. And then at night I would be in the studio with whatever artist they was in the studio with, and then they would be there all fucking night. And then they'd be there like 6 in the morning, 7 in the morning. I'd have to be back in the office at 9 in the morning. So there was times I slept on the Grand Central Station bench, just and wash up in a sink, just so I could go to work the next day. Like, I used to work real hard, bro. And I feel like people want things so easily nowadays.
You were saying how this generation is spoiled, but I feel like even with all the tools we have today, you still have to put in, I guess, the same effort or same.
Let me not get it twisted. You still got to put in work, but I do think it's easier today to reach the world. We didn't have this in the 90s. Like, you couldn't just go viral. There's no such thing as viral. Like, you could do things and go viral and be famous overnight, or you could reach people easily by commenting and trolling and whatever on the ground. We didn't have those options. Like, you know what I'm saying? You actually had to get the fuck out the house and go meet people one by one and create a product that actually, hopefully, people would gravitate to in the streets. And then it would be a slow grind, and it would take time.
Yeah.
Your hard work money, if you even had money to do anything, like, you know what I'm saying?
But I think,
yeah, I would say though, you know, grinding back then, it would, you know, just work towards your longevity. I don't think if you go viral in today's age, you're gonna be famous or whatever, like 5-10 years from now.
I agree. It depends, but yeah, for the most part, I agree.
Okay.
But we live in an era right now, and I'm not dissing this era at all. I'm in this era. I'm in these clubs.
Nah, you dissing
I'm putting music out. No, I'm not dissing this era. I'm part of this era too.
Nah, you ahead.
But I lived a couple of eras now, so I see and I feel the difference. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to diss this era. I just think they have certain things easier.
Yeah,
you know
I mean, I wanted to get to what you were saying too with at least going viral. If a video is viral, like, we'll look at it and then we'll keep it moving. I think the similarities between this generation and your generation when you were coming up is word of mouth a lot of the times. Like, a lot of the Instagram comedians or the podcast, even though I've seen it somewhere, it was because somebody put me onto it. Yo, listen to these guys. I'm like, oh, I've seen these guys from the viral video or something. But I don't think going viral necessarily like will directly generate the core following that you need to kind of be successful.
Most of the time it doesn't, but this generation's, not everybody, by the way, because I know some people get offended, but it's a lot of people want to get famous quick and they just want likes and views. It's not even about substance anymore. Nah, I feel you.
You know what
I'm saying? Before it had to be about substance. Like, no disrespect to 6ix9ine.
That's where y'all win. That's why I'll give it to y'all with that.
No disrespect to 6ix9ine. I actually like 6ix9ine's music, and I like 6ix9ine the way he looked as an artist and his image and everything. I do not condone the snitching shit at all. But before I was aware of that, I actually liked his music, right? But what he did was completely unacceptable back then. Lying just for lying about anything. You had to be honest, authentic and honest in your music. Today, and I hate to use him as an example, but he's just the most popular one. He did that basically to troll, to get followers and get famous. He was a blood in the Crip at the same time. He was doing like it was a lot of weird stuff going on. And people accepted it, and I still think they're gonna accept it when he comes out for the most part. And that's just the world we live in today.
When is he coming out? Soon, right?
I think next year.
Yeah, a little bit. Next year.
You think he's still gonna have the same power?
I think there's gonna be people who don't fuck with him, but I think there's gonna be a ton of people. I think he's still gonna have a big career.
Listen,
because there's people that do not look. The whole snitching thing comes from the street world. Not everybody in the world understands that, or comes for that, or cares for it. So there's gonna be people who support him, that love him. So yeah, I do think he's still gonna have a career. But there's gonna be a ton of people who don't fuck with him also.
Yeah.
You were there when he came out for Powerhouse that one year.
He killed it.
I've honestly, like, I've seen, surprise appearances and stuff like that, but I've never felt an energy in the stadium like that before, where people just wilding out like that.
Nah, he killed it. It was a couple of elements. It's because yes, he was popping, but also because he was banned from a lot of places in New York.
So I was really the last person
to perform a lot of those big venues. So when he came through at Powerhouse, I think that one was at the Barclays Center. It was a movie because he wasn't allowed to do anything. I was like, oh my, you know what I'm saying?
So I want to get back to your relationship. We know you don't get girls like that, so you only have work relationships.
If I'm going to do your podcast, you have to... I told you that. See, that's what I'm saying. This generation is not being honest and authentic for followers. The real story is they're on me.
Confidence my question? Damn. This is my podcast.
What's good?
So, I'm cool with Clue. I work up here with Clue.
Shout out to Clue. Clue put me on to a lot.
That's what I want to talk about, too. Yeah.
Go ahead.
He kind of mentions how he, helps you out with like you were Mariah Carey and tour DJs who would bring you out to clubs and stuff. Can you talk about that relationship?
Yes. Shout to Clue, man. Clue's one of my heroes who I built a friendship with. So what happened was, now I met Mariah before Clue put me on, but we didn't know each other. I interned for her label. I used to be around her, but she didn't know who I was. And I was just there. My relationship with Mariah and her, when she became aware of me, was because of Clue. So Clue had just came from his Monday night show at Hot 97 and came over here to Power 105.1 and was on 5 days a week. Him and Mariah go way back. He's done remixes for Mariah. He's done music for Mariah. They're friends. So she wanted him on the tour, but he couldn't go on the whole tour because he started this radio show. He's still killing right now, 5 days a week. So because of my friendship I've built over the years with Clue, and he saw my grind, he put me on to the tour, and I did a lot of the tour. He came and did a lot of the big cities. I did most of the tour, and yeah, I forgot what city it was. He did the first date of the Adventures of Mimi tour. I think this was 2006, 2007. And then I saw How It Is, and then I did the next dates. And Mariah loved me because, you know, I don't know how to say this without sounding like a cocky person, because I'm not cocky, but you know, I know what I'm doing when I DJ.
I will attest to that too. When I see you, you're one of the, you know, best when I see you actually DJ, the blends, the, you know, the different things you do. I'm not a DJ, I don't know the words, but like a lot of the different, you know, skills you use. You're definitely one of the best.
Concert-wise, I know how to rock a crowd. Right? It's like a big party to me. So I killed whatever first show that was. And I just remember her manager, Benny Medina, at the time, who, you know, was famous for a bunch of things. Famous manager for, he did Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, he managed J-Lo, he did all sorts of projects. If you Google Benny Medina, he was her manager at the time. I remember I didn't know who he was at the time, but he brought me in to see Mariah. I didn't know that's where we were going. And all of a sudden, I'm walking into a room, young kid, Mariah gave me a standing ovation, and everybody gave me a standing ovation. From that moment on, me and Mariah started slowly building a friendship. And then she found out I have the same background as her, because she's black and white, I'm black and white. And we have similar stories to the way we came up. And we just grew a great friendship. Mariah is, Clue put me on to that. Shout to Clue. You know, that nigga really looked out for me. And shout to Mariah. Mariah has changed my life in many ways as well.
That's dope. I saw recently you're getting into, well, you mentioned that you've always been with mixtapes and music and stuff like that. How's that, you know, different than DJing in terms of, you know, your passion? Like
What do you, I'm confused. What do you mean?
Which do you like doing more? Like where?
Oh, I like DJing
making
more.
Music or
mixtapes. I like making mixtapes, but when I came into the mixtapes, Clue was so famous at the time. It was all about at the time about exclusives. Clue made the exclusive huge and famous. He became the king of the mixtapes from that. So it was very hard for me not having a brand in the mixtapes at that time to get all the exclusive. I actually got in trouble and had artists looking for me trying to kill me because I was an intern at Sony's taking. You know, they used to have me dub the tapes and dub songs that weren't released yet, and I'd put them out on mixtapes.
Oh, man.
So I remember back, I don't even know if they remember, this is so long ago, but I remember Ghostface apparently was looking for me. 50 Cent, shout out to 50 Cent, man. I don't know if 50 remembers this story, but I used to intern at Columbia Records. And Trackmasters, before 50 was with M and Dre, and 50 was signed to Columbia Trackmasters. Trackmasters was the president of Columbia at the time. And I'm actually the first person to leak How to Rob.
Wow.
But not on a big level. It was only in the industry because I was a kid doing mixtapes. But he didn't know I had How to Rob. I had a Jay-Z record also from this soundtrack called the Black Hand soundtrack. Shout out to Chaz, he passed away, who used to have that. And I played it for Fifth. And Fifth said, don't put that out. And he called, who now I know is Chaz, but he called at the time and said, yo, don't put that out. These niggas are serious, and that's their key single. And I listened to him for a second until I went to him. Nah, shout out to Fifth for that. I don't even know if he remembers that, but he tried to look out for me. But the reason I actually put it out was because I went downtown Brooklyn to Beach Street at the time where they were selling mad mixtapes. And Envy, who was also on Movie Mode at that time, Envy had it as the first song on his tape. So I'm like, it's already out. And Envy's famous with big mixtapes. I'm just a young intern. You know what I'm saying? So I put it out. But 50 didn't know I had his song How to Rob, which somebody gave me at Sony at the time, trying to help me out. And that mixtape became very big in the industry. I remember Faith Newman gave me props, who, I don't know if you know who Faith Newman is, but she's the one who signed Nas, along with MC Search to do the Illmatic album. And I remember I'm a young kid, and she gave me props, and the whole industry gave me props. And I heard 50, I don't know if he was looking for me, but I heard he wasn't happy about it. You know what I'm saying? I actually saw 50 in Puerto Rico years later, and he said, I remember, nigga.
Was that legal? I mean, besides people, the artists actually getting mad?
Mixtapes were never legal. Mixtapes was basically bootlegging, but it was a way to get an artist popping who wasn't popping. It was like
straight to consumer.
It was straight to the consumer. You couldn't automatically get on the radio. Mixtapes was a way you could freestyle on a Clue mixtape, or you could release a song. There was plenty of DJs, by the way. Like there was so many mixtape DJs. Shout out to all the mixtape DJs, but Clue was like the king of the mixtapes at that point. Being number 1 or in top 10 on a Clue mixtape was like your career was going to launch. You know what I'm saying? It was never legal. Mixtapes was never legal. You're basically but the labels was also down with it.
Yeah.
Because it was like a marketing strategy.
Okay.
It was like the pre-marketing strategy before you can get on radio.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Basically what kind of streaming is today.
Okay, so it was a form of like
streaming.
social media, kind of.
Yeah, but it was physical. It wasn't like on your phone.
Yeah.
People had to go to the store and buy it. It was CDs and cassettes that weren't approved by labels, but they were being sold all over the globe because it was like everybody was buying. It was like the underground.
Yeah.
And everybody was buying them everywhere. And that's how people became aware of new artists and new shit. And not just that. There was, there was regular popping tapes of shit that was on the radio, like R&B tapes, hip-hop tapes, and all that. But you had to get on at that time, besides all the other DJs that was popping, you had to be on a Clue mixtape or you had to be on Flex's show if you was gonna move.
Wow.
Flex, if he was dropping bombs in your record, it was a movie. If you was on a Clue mixtape, it was a movie. Jay-Z, I became aware of Jay-Z from a couple of things, but definitely from Clue's mixtapes. You know what I'm saying? And a bunch of different artists from Clue's mixtapes.
All right. I'm still a little confused about, that mixtape era specifically. Like, was it not for monetization, or was it mostly for,
No, it was monetization.
A lot of people were making like a lot of money, like real money.
People were getting, Envy and Clue and those guys they was getting stupid money. Like I remember Envy would pull up looking like Knight Rider in cars because of mixtape money. Nah, the people was getting money, bro. They would so the mom and pop shops were selling them for whatever CDs cost, $10, $14. So
you could put them in stores, because that's what I was confused about with like you can't make
mom
money.
And pop shops.
Okay.
So you're bringing actual cassettes and CDs that you dubbed yourself of these mixtapes with whatever music and bringing them to the mom and pop shops. Depending on your brand, you would sell it to them.
They would buy them wholesale.
Yeah, they'd buy them wholesale but depending on your brand. Now a guy like Clue, who's the king of it, he could sell it for top dollar.
Yeah.
So, and he was doing like thousands of mixtapes per store. And I'm talking about this is when, so you guys are from this generation where the phone is your store. No, this is when there was a mixtape store in every corner, everywhere, every state, every country, all over the world. So imagine you're getting thousands of dollars per store. Like there used to be 30 stores here on Canal Street, just Canal Street.
Yeah.
And let alone the rest of New York, the rest of, all over the fucking country and all over the world. So it was tons of money. Shout out to DJ Who Kid. He made tons of money doing it. I did okay. I was young and didn't really understand the business.
You're probably late to the game a little bit.
Yeah, I was late to the game.
Yeah.
So the artists wouldn't make any money, right? Like the artists that's on the mixtapes?
What the artists got out of it was, I'm sure there was DJs who would pay artists to get exclusives and stuff once the exclusives got popping. But what the artists got out of it is,
just
marketing.
Exposure.
Marketing. But the big artists used to try to fucking kill people.
Yeah.
Like,
I would too. Like, you make all this money
shout
on.
out to DJ Who Kid. That's a good friend of mine from way back when. He's been public about this. He said how Big Pun basically set him up and grabbed him up in a van and had.
I do remember that story.
All these Puerto Ricans surrounding him because he had songs that he shouldn't have had on his tape, number one. And he also had a song, I forgot, was it Sauce Money? I don't remember who was dissing Pun. I think it was Sauce Money, but Who Kid put that on his tape. So motherfuckers were getting thrown in trunks for releasing music they shouldn't have had. And for other reasons, if you're playing songs that's dissing him and they're like, what the fuck? If you could Google that story, DJ Who Kid was public about that. Ask Clue. If you listen to the beginning of Clue's album, The Professional, his first album, Puff said on the intro of his album, Clue was actually one of the first niggas I wanted to kill due to the fact he leaked one of my Biggie records. I'll never forget this. Clue had all the fucking exclusive. Hypnotized from Biggie. You guys remember this? Yeah. You guys know this record, right? The first time I heard that record was on a Clue mixtape and nobody had it yet. This is how early he was getting these songs. And I remember they played it on the radio from a Clue mixtape with his voice all over it. Clue's voice over it. This is how early. There's still records.
You gotta kill somebody. Yeah. Like that's one of his biggest records.
So I don't know about that situation. You gotta ask Clue because you work with Clue, but I think because after a while they was giving records to Clue and giving records to Envy, giving records to Who Kid, but it was definitely a time where there was not records being given and niggas just got it. However, the engineer threw some money to the engineer or whatever. However it happened, I don't know. And it made niggas popular, but imagine you worked hard on your songs and then this came out on somebody's mixtape
for free, free as hell, making nobody off.
Mixtapes became so big, the artists had to play ball because it was also changing people's lives.
Yeah.
All right, so what kind of killed that? Like the success of the mixtape.
Well, first of all, after that, the artists started, and you was talking about what the artists got out of it. The artists got smart, especially when the internet started popping, and there started being mixtape websites and stuff like that, and people started buying mixtapes from the internet now instead of the streets. And the artists got smart and started doing their own mixtapes without the DJ.
Yeah.
I mean, shout to DJ Drama. DJ Drama did a bunch of artist mixtapes where they did use the DJ. They used Drama, and Gangsta Girls was popping. But then artists started doing their own mixtapes, and fast forward to what today is. That's what they're doing today. Artists aren't using DJs for their mixtapes anymore. They're just doing it themselves and calling the mixtape.
So you guys didn't have to pay like publishing to the well, in terms
It
of
was complete. That's why it was illegal. It was completely underground. There was
I think
no
that was
rules.
the beauty of it. Like you didn't have to pay for samples and all that stuff.
Yeah,
and
it was the beauty of it. On mixtapes, you could do whatever the fuck you want. It was not. It was mom and pop shops. It wasn't even real stores. It was people like in a, Africans in a clothing store that had a mixtape section, or they were selling in barbershops.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
That's dope.
I miss those days though, man. That was the days.
Word.
What's the best thing about that era, in your opinion?
Are we talking musically?
Yeah.
I just think the authenticness of hip hop. Back then, an artist had to be unique in their own right.
You had to be great to get on.
No, of course you had to be great, but you had to be unique. I feel like a lot of people sound the same nowadays.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? That's why before he snitched, because now I can't rock with that, but before he snitched, I really liked 6ix9ine because he just sounded different. He stood out. He sounded like hip hop, rock and roll. He just looked different.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's dope.
Back then, DMX was his own lane.
Definitely.
Big Pun was his own lane. Biggie was his own lane. Cameron was his own lane. Nobody sounded the same. Everybody had different. Everybody had bars. It was more about lyrics back then. Music was much more well produced. There's so many different reasons. I actually like seeing the packaging of a CD and actually reading the credits and being able to see.
Yeah.
They took time and effort to create projects. You know what I'm saying? Nowadays, it's more like, let's get this out. Let's get that out.
So everything's a money grab right now.
Yeah, and it's just people have ADD. Like, music used to live longer back then.
Definitely.
There would be time before. I remember DMX put out 2 albums in 1 year, but that wasn't the norm. There would be time between albums because you didn't have things at your phone, so albums would live longer. Music would live longer. Things would be have more longevity. Now, it's not like that. Like, look, Drake is probably the greatest of this generation, and I think people don't remember half the music. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, the last album I listened to for more than like 2 weeks was Rowdy Rich, but before that, I can't really think
you said that you listened to more than 2 weeks. That would have been unheard of back then. Shit used to live, bro.
Yeah.
And that's just what it is. I miss that era for a bunch of reasons. There's things that's good about this era too, though.
That's good.
But
give us a little bit of what do you think is good about right now?
Nah, I like the convenience. Look, technology ruined a lot of shit that I hate. I hate it for that. But I also think it created a lot of convenience. Like, look, it's a gift and a curse, right? With DJing, I used to carry 10 crates of records to the club.
Yeah.
That shit, I think my back is still fucked up. You know what I'm saying?
Now all you need is your laptop.
So now all you need is a laptop, and all your music is in your laptop. Blessing, right? But it also created a lane where anybody could get music and anybody could be a DJ. And it took it made it like watered down. Now you have models DJing, you have strippers DJing, you have actors DJing,
What's wrong with
rappers DJing. Because they're not
Stripper ball DJ.
I mean, it looks good, but they're not really DJing. The culture of DJing has been lost.
Okay.
It's a lot of
I don't think people of this generation doesn't even know what a good DJ is. DJs used to have to be unique. Anybody could come in and play the hottest record that's out. You're not hot if you come play Roddy Ricch The Box. Of course you're gonna play that.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be different. What are you doing different from the other DJs? That it seems like that's kind of lost a little bit nowadays. And anybody get to get their hands on music. Nobody's unique.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And once anybody could DJ and they're doing it for the wrong reasons, now the promoters are hiring any of these DJs just because they have Instagram followers or because it's a pretty
bring
girl
people out,
or something like that. And now the people who have been raised in this generation in these clubs that experience that don't even know what a real DJ is, because that's a real DJ for them, just somebody that has a laptop and music and presses play.
Yeah.
Until somebody like us pull up and it's a different experience, but they don't get to experience it that much because it's rare nowadays.
Yeah, but I was saying you could tell because of course we're gonna turn up when we hear the box in the club, but it's like certain DJs, you're like, oh shit, he's going in. My favorite thing that DJs do is when they put lyrics to a song under a different
Blends?
beat. Yeah,
blends.
is that what it's called?
Yeah, it's called blending. People don't do that a lot nowadays. Shout out to DJ Ty Boogie. He does that a lot.
Yeah, I love that shit.
I hate it. I don't
You hate
like
it?
Yeah.
Nah, I
I like certain songs
if it sounds
because
good,
of the...
yeah, but
Well, that's what hip hop, the mixtapes in the early days was all about, man. Sampling, blending, mixing, and all that. So that's what he just said he doesn't like it. That proves that it's kind of like a lost thing.
Yeah.
It's not and there's no disrespect. It's just not what it is today.
Yeah.
It's just not what it is.
It's turning into less of an art form. You're saying more of a,
I don't want to take nothing away from Mike because there's people I love the way they make music. I just think it's different. It's evolved into something else. You can't stop evolution. Technology made things easier, but it also made things a little bit more watered down.
Yeah.
But it also forced people to put out more music.
Yeah.
And, there's gifts and curse.
Yeah. I would say one thing with the internet, like you can't stand on quality alone nowadays. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
What do you mean?
You can't just stand on, being good. And that's all you have to run. That's not what's gonna take you all the way nowadays.
Yeah, no. Now people buy more into you because of social media. It's
whether
almost
it's
like the
looks
music
or
is secondary.
following, and we saw you with Wendy Williams. Congrats on that.
Thank you. Everybody keeps saying
Right.
that was a good look. Shout to Wendy. Shout to my brother DJ Booth.
How did that happen?
It's just Booth. Shout to DJ Booth. Wendy. So I'm cool with Booth.
Sorry, well, let me premise it. For those you don't know, he's been, has a couple spots on the Wendy show as
only
the DJ.
did it twice.
I said a couple. But how did that
honestly, I'm cool with Wendy. I'm cool with Booth. I know Booth way longer. They came to one of my events. I do this event called Dinner in the Movie with DJ Sus, one in the city, and Booth brought Wendy to one of them. Shout to them. And then one day I was just at my crib working on my computer, and my phone rings. And it was Booth, and I picked up, and it was Wendy and Booth on the phone. And Wendy said, "I want you to come guest DJ. Booth has to take off sometimes, so you my people. I want you to come guest DJ." There's other. It's so funny because people make this such a big thing, but there's other guest DJs on that show before I
only know you, man.
I really only seen you.
But no, shout to Wendy, man. She she gave me that look, and she has one of the biggest shows on earth. So shout to Wendy, they gave me that look. Shout to DJ Booth, and they looked out. That's DJ Booth's gig though.
Yeah,
I was feeling him.
Yeah,
oh my God.
Did you feel the impact of being on Wendy?
Man. Honestly, I've been wanting. I was just talking to my homegirl right here about this. I want to get on TV. I've been wanting to get on TV, but I don't want to do TV in the wrong way. Like I purposely didn't do Love and Hip. I could have been on Love and Hip Hop years ago. I purposely didn't do it, even though I did a cameo recently, but just a quick 4 seconds or something. I didn't want to do that type of show, and nothing wrong with that show for certain people. It just doesn't fit my personality. You know what I'm saying? So I've been wanting to get on TV, and I thought the Wendy thing was a good look because I was just being myself and I was DJing. If I could find a situation where I could be me and control the narrative for the most part, then I would do it. So I felt the impact. Being on TV is just a different thing. People were hitting my phone. People, my family members were
asking for bread.
I was only on it twice. I wasn't just DJing. You know what I'm saying? So I could only imagine if you're a character on a show that's very popular, what the energy is.
What form of television would you want to do? Like the same thing with DJing somebody's talk show?
What I would like to do, I'm trying to come up with ideas, but what I would like to do is probably wouldn't even work. Because it seems like in television what works is drama. That's what it appears to be. Not for all television, but for the lifestyle type of television, it seems like drama is what works. And I don't mind drama, it just has to be the right drama. So I don't know. I don't know what will work for my personality.
You mind telling what idea you have, or is that still?
I don't have any ideas. I'm trying to come up with ideas.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to do some dumb shit like dating DJ Sus.
Those shows say lit.
Like Flavor of Love and all that.
Flavor of Love, I Love New York. Those shows was lit.
Yeah, but look at what happened in those shows.
Drama, right?
Yeah, but a different type of drama. I just don't want to be affiliated with, And no knock to anybody, because shout to DJ Self. He did it.
And work for him.
Yeah, shout to my homegirl, Johnny Blaze. She did it.
Shout to Johnny.
But, for some people it works. For some people it doesn't. I don't know. I'm sure it might have worked for me, but it's just not. It doesn't fit my personality. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
You want to talk about some current event topics with us?
Let's do it. I'm horrible with current events. I was telling y'all.
Did you see the Quentin Miller video he dropped? recently discussing like the anniversary of If You're Reading This Is Too Late? For the most part, you know, they, like you said, they were congratulating him on, you know, because he wrote for a lot on If You're Reading This Is Too Late, and he said it was a hard time in his life, but like people look at him like congratulations and all that, because I guess when Meek dissed Drake, you know, the sample tracks came out of him singing the song.
I remember.
So he felt like he was pretty much blackballed from, you know, getting any work. And
well, so the thing I don't remember is, how did the music get leaked? How did it get leaked?
I mean, that's what they're saying. I think people,
did he leak it? I don't remember.
That was the assumption. So I guess that's what kind of, you know, fucked up his career.
So listen, that shit was a crazy situation. Quentin Miller and Drake worked into the studio, but Drake, anybody who knows he writes. Like, he's a good writer. He's a different type of artist. You know, in hip hop, it's like, hell no, you can't fucking get people to help you, right? Unless it's like a hook or something. But to me, Drake is bigger than that. He sings. He's like a pop star. He is hip hop. He's a bunch of shit, and he writes for other people. He can write. Now, businessly, I don't know what happened between them, but I'm just speaking out my mind. If he leaked those tracks, that's not good business. Look at what it caused.
Yeah.
So who would want to work with somebody who can't be confidential,
right,
with the work, right?
Yeah.
Now that's if that's what happened. I don't know if that's what happened.
I mean, I guess he's claiming it didn't happen, but you never really know the truth 100%. But he's claiming like it ruined him. But somebody as talented as that with that album, you think he should get another chance?
I believe everybody should get a second chance, but you know, now we're talking businessly. He got to find the person who will give him a second chance. If that's what happened and he's the one who leaked it, if you're an artist, would you hire him?
I think
leak my shit.
I think with his situation too, he wanted to be an artist, so he wanted to be like the face. He wanted to rap his own songs.
This is nothing new, bro. Like, there's producers that have been ghost producers. Like, Scott Storch was producing under Dre for years before he became out on his own. You know, writers. There's so many writers that blew up as a writer first, and like, I think Dream was a writer first before he became an artist, and so many people were writers before they became artists. But you don't leak the music. So once again, I don't know if that's what happened, but if he was the one that leaked the music, then, you know, he has to find. I believe everybody deserves a second chance, but he has to find his way in of who will give him a second chance, because businessly, you guys wouldn't hire him if you didn't leak the music.
I guess not.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, he might have learned his lesson, but
just professionally speaking.
As somebody who gets into production, and you said you were making mixtapes and stuff, did you ever feel the need to like be to the forefront, like the star of, you know, some of the stuff you were making?
Well, this is mixtapes.
Or like rapping, or like just being the front man?
I mean, my mixtapes was just me, so I was always.
I mean, production you're doing now though, because I seen you. You know, you're working on stuff.
Oh yeah, well now I have an independent record label that I'm trying to build from scratch. You know what I'm saying? We've put out a couple of artists, but we haven't had any big successes yet. Right now, I'm working on an artist named Leah Robinson. She's very dope. And no, I don't have the need to be the star. You know, I know a lot of people used to get on Puff back in the day because they always said he had to be on all his videos. Blah, blah, blah.
The Harlem Shake at every video.
Yeah, no, I don't feel the need to do that. You know, I feel the need to do it for my own brand. You know, with my own music and my own stuff. You know, I'll be in an artist video if it makes sense, but I don't feel the need to do that. I feel like an artist should stand on their own.
Not gonna put a DJ Khaled.
Yeah, if you got so. Guys, whoever's watching this, do your homework. I was actually doing records for years. I stopped doing it. I had a record called Let 'Em Lay with Mano. I had a record called That Work with French Montana. This is early. French Montana, Cassidy, Uncle Murder, and Joel Ortiz. That was some raw hip-hop shit. And I had a record called Champion where Floyd Mayweather talked shit on it for me. And Jadakiss, French Montana, Junior Reed, Lloyd Banks, and somebody else I forget. I have music videos for them. I put music out, but I stopped doing it because became a pain in the ass. I respect Khaled, man, and I respect Clue, and I respect Flex, and I respect K Slay, and all the people who've done it before me, DJ Drama, because chasing these artists is another level.
That's what I hear.
Yeah.
Until you get onto a level like now, you know, Clue and Khaled became on a level, and Slay and these guys became on a level where you didn't have to chase them as much anymore.
They probably ran to
But
them.
even if you get the artist, I've gotten big artists on my early project, or early songs. Clearing them, clearing the artists from these record labels is a pain in the ass. So that's why I stopped, and I should have never stopped because I actually had some momentum. But now I'm about to start again, and I got some records with some big artists, coming up soon. But shout to Khaled, who's killing it right now. Shout to Clue, who's been killing it. Clue's the only DJ that went platinum with his albums.
Yeah.
He's
the first DJ to go platinum.
First DJ to go platinum. I think Flex went platinum also in gold. K Slay was killing it. Kid Capri, one of my heroes, that killed it with albums. So many DJs. So.
What do you think is the hardest part of having that label nowadays?
Putting in your own money when you have your own bills.
Yeah.
Unless you were rich and you got the money to spare, you're taking money that you pay your regular bills with and putting it into what you believe in. But I come from that era where you do that. Nowadays, labels don't sign you unless you have some momentum.
Yeah, you gotta be hot
and you
already.
have some analytics, and you're already moving, so that they feel comfortable enough to be like, all right, let me put my money in.
Right.
But too much of a risk, otherwise.
Yeah, well, back in the '90s, that was the whole fucking thing. Taking a risk. Like, I believe in this shit. I hear it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I believe in this, and I'm gonna get you signed. I'm gonna sign you, and I'm gonna prove to the world of why I think. I'm gonna make the world believe what I believe. There was no analytics, and it was just what you believed in it. You know what I'm saying? And I come from that era, so I'm putting my hard work money that I need to fucking pay my mortgage with and my electric bill and all whatever to put into my company. And at times it's hard. At times I have a lot of money, and at times I'm struggling.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I still gotta keep it moving until it gets to a certain point. And that's what you're supposed to do when you're building a business.
Do you see the situation with Diddy and Mace?
Yeah, that's been going on for so long.
So what are your thoughts on that? For those you don't know, Mace is pretty much hounding Diddy now for money he's apparently owed for, work and projects he did back in the day. And Diddy's saying Mace kind of ran off with the money on his projects.
I know the whole situation, man.
So
this is not new, by the way.
Yeah.
It's just new to the new generation, but this shit's been going on for a long time. So I see both sides to it, but shout out to Diddy and Mace, by the way. I'm cool with both of them. It's such a difficult situation. If you're thinking as a good human being with a conscience and only from that perspective, then you're going to agree with Mace. If you're thinking from a business perspective and saying this has nothing to do with personal or conscience or anything like that, then I agree with Diddy. Diddy didn't force anybody to sign anything. You put a contract in front of you, and you're supposed to get a lawyer, and the lawyer's supposed to do it. A lot of the time, young kids don't know any better, and they're just excited to be on, especially when Puff was a movie back then. And you're watching TV. Yeah, that's gonna be me and all this shit. So they make those mistakes of just signing contracts and not knowing what they're signing. But whose fault is that? I don't know, man. So like I said, if you're looking at, I see both sides to it. If you're looking at it from being just only a strictly good human being, which I like to do, then you will agree with Mace. But if you're looking from it from a pure business perspective, and I know you guys have heard this saying, this is business, not personal. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people run business that way because it's all about making money. It's all about building your company. It's all about, profit. And it's not supposed to be a personal. Then I understand where Diddy's coming from.
I think those are the steps you have to take, though, as like running a business or having a business. You have to, not scheme, but basically scheme to be successful, in my opinion.
No, I don't agree, because I've never done anybody dirty in my life, and I'm nowhere near no Diddy level, but I've made it this far, and I bought a house, and have a comfortable lifestyle, without doing anybody dirty or anything like that. But like I said, he might not see us doing him dirty. He got the contract. He had every right to get a lawyer to read the contract, and they say no, get the fuck out of here. But I see both sides to it, man. I feel Mace, because nobody wants their publishing to be
held
not
up.
theirs. So they're fucking 50 or 60 years old. I feel them, but it's unfortunate. You know what I'm saying? That's unfortunate. I don't know what to say.
The game is the game. Right?
But it's a good argument I have with people too, though. So, look, Puff was. Bad Boy Records was the biggest. I don't know if you got what year y'all was born, but Bad Boy was like a fucking trilogy movie in the 90s and early 2000s, right? They were running shit. You had to play Bad Boy Records on the radio. So now let me guys ask you a question. And if it's only about business, if you have this type of power and you know basically anything you touch is gonna go, and you see a talent or somebody comes to you or whatever, however you come across a talent, you know, would you not use your power and say, all right, you want us to sign, but I need this because this is gonna go.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I need this publishing, I need this. Now that's from a business aspect.
Yeah.
You know, if you want to be a nice guy, then maybe you shouldn't do that. But this is, nigga, we live in a world, this is ran by business and sharks, and it's not just the music business. So I see both sides to it, is what I'll say.
But should, you know.
I've heard that about Beyonce, by the way.
What?
And don't quote me because I don't know if this is 100% true, but I heard that if you write a record for Beyonce, she's taking most of the publishing because.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of jokes on that on Twitter and stuff.
Because if that's Beyonce, like it's most likely gonna go.
Yeah.
Do you want you know it's almost a good look. So I say with Mace and like the Locks and all these are my guys, by the way. Would they have been who they are today to even complain about their longevity of their career and not getting their publishing if they weren't signed to Puff? I don't know. Possibly.
And don't quote me on this either.
There's two ways to look at it.
Yeah.
Would the Locks be the Locks? Would Mace be Mace? Would Biggie have been Biggie? Would any of it if it wasn't for being with Puff?
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's
Possibly. Mace is in a position where he's super famous and travels and tours the world because of that entity that he was signed to and because of Puff, to be able to complain about he's not getting all his publishing all these years later. So like I said, I'm not disagreeing with Mason, I'm not disagreeing with Puff. I see both sides. I personally would like to take the better route. Like with my artists, I like to keep it fair.
Right.
Even if I know I could get over, I wouldn't do it. You know what I'm saying? But that's just me.
Yeah.
But I know business is business for a lot of people. They don't look at it that way.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I was saying don't quote me on this either, but I'm hearing Mason's turning around and doing the same thing to his artist Fabio. You know, he was.
I didn't know Fabio was Mace's artist.
Yeah,
wow.
Fabio's.
Shout out to my guy Fabio. That's my guy.
So I'm hearing he's making a lot of bread off him, but the deal was like for like $5,000 or something like that. I don't know how true that is, but
yeah, I don't know if it's true, so I can't comment.
Yeah, I can't comment, but yeah. So Sus, we appreciate you for coming on, man. This was very dope, man. I appreciate you with all the insight. You know, our younger audience, you know, is definitely learning a lot. Yeah, you know, from me. I learned a lot. You
dropping
know,
gems.
So, yeah, so I definitely appreciate you.
I appreciate you for having me on the show.
Yeah. You want to shout out anything coming up? Like you said, you're...
Yeah, so guys...
he about to do some dumb shit. First of all, let's start his face.
Let's start with social media. At DJ Sus1 across all platforms. That's Instagram, that's Twitter, that's Facebook, that's Snapchat. If there's some social media, it's at DJ Sus1, right? Go to my website, thefeaturepresentation.com. We do movie review, movie news, and music news on that site. I have my record label, the Feature Presentation Studios, which is actually not just a record label, it's also a film studio, but we're at very beginning stages where I'm taking my hard-working money, blood, tears, and sweat to just try to get this shit off the ground. So just keeping it real. That's where we are with it right now. Check out Leah Robinson. She's a dope-ass artist. Follow her, the Leah Robinson, on Instagram. She got a song called Do It For The Gram out right now. And we coming out with an EP. Follow Shanti McCoy, Brooklyn rapper, on Instagram right now. She's dope. We got a record out there with Juicy J. And, you know, I got music coming out. I'm trying to figure out the name of my project, but I think Khaled, who was a friend of mine, needs another entity out there. Parallel to him. So, shout out to DJ
Need some
Khaled,
competition in the streets?
Yeah, competition's always healthy because it keeps people on top of their game. But he's killing it so much right now. I just feel like, look, there could be multiple that exist. I think he needs somebody that's going to stand next to him and be like, this is my entity this is my energies that, you know, compared to your energy, and I want to be that. So, and do it in my own way. So that I got records coming, and that's what we moving. I got my radio show on Power 105.1, New York, that I'm here now. I got my radio show jamming in Boston. I got my radio show on 97.5 in Maryland.
So you working?
I got I got a morning show I'm starting on Dash Radio next week. I hope this airs before that. And we're just working.
That's dope.
I'm surprised he's not in Chicago right now, All-Star Weekend.
Nah, Leah's out there. My artist Leah's out there. I had to work here in New York. I couldn't get out some of the gigs that I had already signed contracts for. Oh, and check out my dinner and a movie with DJ Sus1 event. We get these early premieres of these movies, and I invite the music world and the entertainment world.
Not me though, but you know, I appreciate it.
I only invite.
I like movies.
I only invite the influencers. So I'm doing a movie with DJ Sus1, and also another thing that people don't know about me, and I'll leave it at this because I could talk for hours. I'm trying to produce horror movies.
That's dope.
So that I'm at the beginning stages of that too. Everything that I'm doing right now, except for DJing, is at the very beginning stages.
Okay.
DJing is what's moving right now for me, but my company, we're slowly rising. That's what I'm working on.
Word.
It's dope that you're looking, far ahead, past DJing and everything. You're
Always,
living,
bro.
That's dope. Once again, thank you for coming on. As usual.
Pause. I didn't joke this
We
whole
gotta stay in
interview.
Jersey.
You gotta be proud of me. I didn't really go in this whole interview because he knows my personality. I'm always joking.
As usual, follow us on our social media platforms. Instagram is School Days Podcast and Twitter is The School Days. It's your boy Brandon.
It's your boy Brad.
We out.